Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you've watched my previous video, you know that I painted my cabinets and they are looking fantastic. I have new hardware on them, beautiful. Today we're going to be focusing on the walls. Let me show you. You can tell I did a couple of patches, so like the new paint colors right here, I did a little bit of patch testing. I think it's going to look much nicer, but the color of the current wall is so stark white compared to the cabinets. It's so startling. So I'm hoping to kind of neutralize it a little bit with that creamy color. So I'm gonna start that today. Let's see how far we get. I've already cleaned this wall. It's a little discolored from the trash can being there. And then we're just gonna make our way around and paint as much as we can today. It'll probably take a couple of coats and then we'll go from there. And I've started to have my stuff out already, but it's looking so much nicer. And here is what the walls look like. That is not that main wall in the kitchen. There's a lot of scuffs. Some of the walls are really dirty, especially behind the range. It's just been used. It's a kitchen that is always in use every single day. So obviously lots of things are not pretty. Some of the walls, like this one, it is in the back part of the kitchen, and therefore it's not as bad, but again, there's scuffs. And on the top part right there's a lot of discoloration. On the bottom you see that yellowish I guess color. I'm not sure why that's yellow, but it is, and it needed a brand new coat of paint. And so that is what I am doing in this video, just giving everything a nice fresh coat of paint, especially back here. And so first thing I did is take off the, what are these called, the light covers? No. And as you can see, it was really disgusting back here. This was right behind the range. And all the oil splatter is just disgusting. And then I cleaned it, and I actually didn't have this on video, but I did end up having to use the power brush, the electric brush, because I did use a scrubby. Then I used this other brush, and it just was not coming off. All the stuff that was on back there, it was not coming off, so I had to resort to the big guns, but I did not film. All right, everything prepped and ready to go, ready to paint. Everything washed, and I think I'll be good. Let's do it. And I started with painting the walls. I don't know if you can tell in this from this angle, I guess, the variance in the color between the old paint and the new paint or not. It's not very much different. The paint color that I'm using here is Sherwin-Williams Greek Villa, and I am using a satin finish as opposed to high gloss, which is also, I used satin on the cabinets as well, and I really liked the way that the satin looked. It's not so shiny and bright. And as you can see, the kitchen is in a lot of use. It was around lunchtime that I started painting this, and I had my brother-in-law at the house. So anyways, it was a lot of people, lots of stuff happening, and I decided I needed to paint right at that time. So perfect timing, right? But honestly, any time that I have that I can do stuff is a perfect time, because if I let other things happen that are happening impede my progress, it'll never be done, to be honest. Like, it's just always something's happening all the time, and I just have to carve out time and do things. And this honestly didn't take as long as I thought. I thought only part of that kitchen was going to take me 2 hours, but the whole thing took me 2 hours to paint. Not too bad. Looking back at this footage, I'm not sure why I didn't just have the paint closer to me, but I just kept going back towards the front of the kitchen to get my paint reloaded on my roller and my paintbrush, and I have no idea why. I probably would have been easier to keep it closer to me, but whatever. But yeah, like here, in these clips, I can definitely see the difference in the color, but it's also wet. This particular area really did turn out really well because it was yellowed and discolored and just not looking too pretty. So I'm glad that I went through this process and painted the walls. Believe it or not, I have never painted until this project. I had never actually painted on my own anything substantial. It's just been little things. Just finished with the last coat of paint, or last wall, and it is looking pretty good. It's not a huge difference. It's just a warmer white. I like it. It looks nicer and cleaner. And back here, I didn't patch that up. You can see the little hole. But I think in the future, maybe we could patch it up if you want to. But I think in the near future, I'd like to put a backsplash up. We'll kind of see where we are. This is it. I think this is enough for the day. We'll see if I need to do a second coat and then go from there. It looks so much nicer now compared to the cabinets. Like, it's so much better. Quite a few days later, I came back to the kitchen. I did not do a second coat of paint. It looked good the way it was. The undercoat was white, this was white, and it was really nice looking, so I did not do another coat. But I started off with clearing off this bar stool area, and what I wanted to do here is actually just put that area a little bit higher because it's just really uncomfortable with the way that the chairs are there, and if you're trying to eat, it's just really low. It was really low. So I removed the pieces of wood and then proceeded to try to find a drill bit that would fit the screws that are holding up those pieces of wood. And finally found it, unscrewed it, and all was well. I do at some point in the near future, or in a few minutes, kind of cut off into my husband sitting down. He did help me put this up higher, but it was so chaotic trying to film and trying to work between those pieces of wood and whatever. It's just a lot. So I did not catch that on camera, but suffice it to say, it was a lot going on in the kitchen trying to get these back up. And you see how discolored they are in the back. Like, it's just really the old paint and dirt and grime that gets back there is just wonderful. But yeah, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be, but it was still harder than I thought it was going to be, if that makes sense. I think the hardest part was the fact that it's such a long space and the boards are so heavy that it was hard. If I had to do it by myself, it would have been a little bit tricky trying to figure out how to do it so it was level. But yep, we were able to figure it out with my husband.
You like it? You can work there?
I think so. You check on it?
I already checked it. Let me put this other one.
Oh.
Hit the mic. I'm recording because watch your face. No, I hit over here. Puta madre, amigo. Hit the mic.
Good thing I didn't paint this trim yet.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Oh yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah, that's much better,
Because
right?
I mean, before we have other
Chairs.
just chairs, huh? Yeah, this is perfect.
This
This
is
is
much
almost like
better.
a coffee shop.
Yeah, much more comfortable.
And we need to have the plants over here, a couple, not.
Yeah, because it's a little too much.
Paula Consign did not put too much stuff.
and it was done. And I know you've seen my house, you've seen different videos in my house, and any flat surface that we have tends to accumulate stuff. We bring food in, we bring whatever in, and it just finds a flat surface and it lives there. So we have to be conscious about moving stuff off of areas. That's why my husband was saying, hey, let's put a sign up. I don't know that we need a sign, we just need to be conscious about it. Then I went through and wiped everything down with some soapy water, a cloth, and rinsed that off as well. And then started back up at the front of the kitchen just to finish that piece off so I didn't have to continue going back to the front. There's trim everywhere. And then I went back to the kitchen window trim. And these windows really needed a fresh coat of paint. It was not looking pretty. They were really grimy, really just sticky and dirty and all the things. And so you will see in a little bit the difference that just one coat of paint made. And as you can see in these clips, I am never left alone just to do whatever the heck I want. There's a lot of stuff going on. The kids are always in the kitchen. The kids are always, needing something from mama. So it's a lot, but it is also what it is. And I just continue doing what I need to do so that the house gets into the shape that I want it to be in. And oh my gosh, I cannot for the life of me keep in one straight line. I'm all over the place with painting just in one section. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm doing on the bottom of each window. As you can see, it is in rough shape. I tried cleaning this out, but whatever that is, it's not coming out. And again, as with other places in my house, I feel like the paint that was used is just really sticky. I wonder if it's just primer, to be honest, and it was never painted, and that's why everything just kind of sticks to it. This part I just painted a few minutes ago, and so that's kind of where we're headed with the rest of them. Here we go. Yeah, all of them look really grimy, and there's some leaves on the outside and wood and stuff. The sunroom is literally like right there, screen and porch. But anyways, just gonna paint this trim, and it's hard to paint it too because it's really rough textured. I'm scared I'm gonna get a splinter when I touch it. Maybe in this area not, but in other areas it's really rough. So it's really hard to paint, but we'll move on with the brush. This section probably took me the longest. I did end up also painting the ceiling in this area, and it took forever. Between the beadboard on the ceiling having all the ridges and then this wood being as rough as it took forever. And I thought when I was painting the kitchen walls that would take me forever, but I guess because it's flat surfaces and rather large for the most part, with a roller it was really easy. But here, it just took forever. I do not recommend. And I wish I would have bought a different type of roller to use here, like one of those rollers with the higher nap, because I think those are the ones that would really get into the grooves of the window trim because it's rough. But I don't know. I don't know anything about whether that is correct or not. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. But that's what I thought after the fact, that I should have probably gotten that. But I got it done with just a brush. And it was just, I guess, as effective as it would have been to roll, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it makes a difference when you don't want a smooth finish to have a roller. You know what I mean? Somebody that knows more about paint, please let me know in the comments below if it really makes a difference, whether you use a roller on rough wood versus a brush. Does it make a difference in the finished product? I assume not. I think it just makes lighter work because it's not as small as a brush. And then I also painted these doors. I was initially gonna paint them the same color of the cabinet doors, but then I decided I would not, and I would just paint them the same as the trim. I'm still out, the jury's still out on whether I want to go back and paint it with the cabinet paint or keep it this color here, because it does feel out of place. The color that I'm painting it, I thought it was a warmer white, which it is, but the color that was on there on the doors had yellowed over time, so it was actually warmer than the color that I'm painting it. So now the color that I painted it is super stark white. I hope that makes sense. But suffice it to say, I did not like the way that it looked. I actually think I liked it better with the doors that were kind of grimy looking. And here I am also with my brush. I didn't get my roller out. I figured, why? This is some kind of MDF or something, because it's for sure not real wood. Then it was time to put the stained glass pieces back, and then put the wood planks back. I was able to put everything back pretty quickly, pretty easily, and here it is. And then a few days later, I purchased some bigger knobs for the doors, because I did not like the way that the black ones looked. Again, the white color is now throwing me off. It is so bright. I want something a little bit warmer in this area, and I might just come back and paint the doors the warmer cabinet color. We'll see how that goes as I live with the doors that are currently there. But I figured at least warming them up a little bit with the pulls might help me a little bit with the way that I feel about it. And I do like them a little bit better, at least the color, just to match it with everything else in the kitchen. What do we think? I think I like it better. Warms it up a bit compared to the black. Can see where the picture frame was, where the picture was hanging up on there. This looks a little bit cleaner, right? I got this picture frame for the wall in my kitchen. It just feels so empty. It's always been this empty, and I wanted to fill it with something that we have always had in the kitchen, which was the poster I took off of the wooden slat area. And I bought this giant frame because I just thought it would look so nice if I put it there. Anyways, I got it unboxed, got it figured out. There was like little screws that had like an Allen key type of key there that was a little tricky to use, but I figured it out, got it together. It took about 10 minutes to put the frame, not the frame together, but the poster into the frame. Figured it out, and then from there it was pretty easy. Came with the hanging items. I used a piece of tape to kind of determine where the holes needed to be. Made sure it was level up on the wall. I wish I would have maybe put it up a little bit higher, but then everybody in the house says that it looks nice where it is. You let me know if you like it. And here's what it looked like before, and then here is what it looks like now. I'm really liking the way that the kitchen is coming together. If you want to see more things coming from my house, please consider subscribing. And I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.